Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 5th of September. Indian Prime Minister Modi raises terror issue at G20 Summit, calls for zero tolerance on corruption. Twin blasts kill at least 20 in Kabul, dozens injured. And 10-day-long Hindu festival begins in India amid religious fervor. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the second day of the G20 Summit in China launched a veiled attack on Pakistan for spreading terrorism. He also made several interventions on issues of climate, health and trade.
Intervening in the last session on other issues affecting world economy, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that only a single nation in South Asia is spreading agents of terror, stopping short of naming Pakistan. He also called on the international community to isolate and sanction those indulging in the same. Prime Minister Modi presented India's stand on various issues ranging from climate, health, trade and finance while making interventions in different sessions. On the sidelines of the G20 Summit, Prime Minister Modi held bilateral talks with leaders of other member countries. Of these, mention may be made of his meeting with French President François Hollande, where the two leaders are said to have had words on the Scorpion submarine data leak. Prime Minister Modi also held dialogue with British Prime Minister Theresa May on building opportunities between the two countries. This is Prime Minister May's first meeting with her Indian counterpart after assuming the office.
Moving on, special prayers were held across India to mark the death anniversary of Saint Teresa. Followers also held celebrations to mark her canonization in the Vatican City.
Missionaries of Charity, the global order of nuns founded by Saint Teresa, remembered the Nobel Peace Laureate on her 19th death anniversary in India's eastern Kolkata city on Monday. Hundreds of followers turned up to pay their respects. Prayers rang in Mother House, where the tomb of the saint lies. Known as Mother Teresa before her canonization by Pope Francis on Sunday, she spent a major part of her life in Kolkata, where she dedicated her life to the poor, sick and dying. Hundreds of devotees and nuns attended a special Sunday Mass in churches in Goa, Coimbatore, Trivandrum and more after the Nobel laureate was made a saint of the Roman Catholic Church at a ceremony in Vatican City on Sunday.
That Mother Teresa was raised to the sainthood just because she really followed the call of God and put it into practice for all the poor people, to tell them that God loves them in their own way.
So we are so happy that we have one more saint in the church. And also we thank this celebration just now we had here in this church.
Mother Teresa is a living witness to the love of Jesus. How should we live the gospel today? Also, the great testimony we can give to God is to love the poor.
Her love for children, orphans and lepers propelled her to an iconic status both within India and in the world outside, with people flocking to touch her, see her and be blessed by her.
An all-party delegation has been trying to break ice by meeting all stakeholders in India's northern province of Jammu and Kashmir, which has been hit by unrest. The delegation is led by Indian Interior Minister Rajnath Singh, who said that Kashmir was, is and will always be a part of India.
मैं पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर की हालात में सुधार होगा। इसमें कहीं दो मत नहीं है कि जम्मू कश्मीर भारत का इंटीग्रल पार्ट था, है और रहेगा।
The remarks by Indian Interior Minister Rajnath Singh came as a 28-member delegation of all parties reached Srinagar, the capital of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir, to broker peace in the region. The delegation of lawmakers met Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti and a leader of opposition party in the province, Omar Abdullah, to discuss on dousing off the ongoing turmoil in the Kashmir Valley. Most of the parties pitched for unconditional talks with the stakeholders to restore normalcy. They also met different sections of people, including members of the civil society, academics, teachers and fruit growers. But the peace-finding mission dealt a blow when separatist leaders refused to hold talks with the members of the delegation. The lawmakers, in their individual capacity, had gone to meet separatist leaders at their residences, but were denied entry. The Kashmir Valley has been rocked by protests and curfew ever since the killing of Hizbul Mujahideen militant Burhan Wani on July 8. The strife has claimed over 70 lives and leaving thousands injured.
Moving on to news from Pakistan, journalists in Gilgit-Baltistan are living a risky life. They are bearing the brunt of mirroring the realities of the region. Our report.
Journalists play a crucial role in every society. But in Gilgit-Baltistan, they are facing impediments while reporting the ground realities of the region. Journalists in the region, unlike in other provinces of Pakistan, do not enjoy any rights. Many in the media fraternity claim that they are often victims of the anger of authorities for reporting against corruption, malpractice and bringing to light true plight of the people of the illegally occupied region.
10 साल मेरा तजुर्बा है। इस दौरान कई जगहों पे मुझ पे हमले भी हुए और मुतअद्दिद मरतबा मुझसे झगड़े भी हुए। इवन कल ही मुझे एक ख़बर ब्रेक करने पर, सच्चाई अवाम को दिखाने पर, हक़ाइक़ दिखाने पर एक शख्स की तरफ से फ़ोन पे मुझे धमकियाँ मिलती रहीं और संगीन नताइज की धमकियाँ मिलती रहीं। बल्कि उसने यहाँ तक भी कहा कि आपको गिलगित छोड़ कर जाना चाहिए।
There have been various incidents of journalists being beaten up by the police and other authorities. But despite having knowledge of such incidents, the local government has not provided any platform to the journalists to report the harassments they face. Nevertheless, these journalists continue to risk their lives and report about the ground realities of the region, which has been occupied by Pakistan for decades.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan, at least 20 people, mostly security personnel, were killed and 30 others wounded when 2 explosions rocked Kabul on Monday. The attack took place outside the vicinity of the Ministry of Defence. Reports state that initial blast was followed by a second bombing after people responded to the first explosion. Afghan Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attack. The United Nations World Food Programme, which has been active in Afghanistan since 1960s to help the deprived, is now facing crisis. The organisation fears unfulfillment of its planned operations in the war-torn region.
The United Nations World Food Programme has cited concerns over uncertainty of its planned operations in Afghanistan. Members of the UN Food Organization have stated that a squeeze on funding caused by the spread of crisis across the Middle East and Africa is affecting its operation in the South Asian country.
We have a $50 million shortfall to support our program through our planned program through the end of the year. We also have seen, as you all have, the increased number of returnees or refugees from Pakistan, and as those numbers evolve, those are not planned, and we only have resources to support those individuals through September.
The organization had been forced to reduce ration in its school meal program and cut other support. Chronic insecurity in many areas had also occasionally forced the WFP to suspend some activities. The organization has urged for more donation so that its efforts are not interrupted during the coming winter.
Moving on to news from Myanmar, the first panel for the newly formed Advisory Commission on Rakhine Province was held in Yangon on Monday. The meet was attended by country's State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi and former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, who is the chairman of the Advisory Commission on Rakhine Province. The panel seeks to tackle human rights abuses and bring peace in the northeastern region. The restive province has witnessed violence between Buddhist and minority Rohingya Muslims.
Excellency, Madam State and welcome to the inauguration of the Advisory Commission on Media Coverage. Please take lead.
What we are hoping for is a fair assessment of the situation as it stands today, and for us to be able to get a clear idea of the roots of these problems. We have to go back in history to find out why our country now is in a situation where there are two communities at loggerheads with each other in this particular region of the Union, because they are the ones who have to live here.
A celebratory mood prevailed in India as devotees across the country welcomed Lord Ganesha to begin the 10-day-long festival of Ganesh Chaturthi. Colourfully decorated idols were installed in homes and public places with much zeal and fervour.
Ganesh Chaturthi is a Hindu festival celebrated by devotees as the birthday of Lord Ganesha. On the day of the festival, lifelike clay models of Lord Ganesha are placed on raised platforms in homes or in elaborately decorated outdoor tents for people to worship. While the festival is celebrated all over India, the maximum grandeur can be seen across the western Maharashtra province. The idol of Lal Baghcha Raja and the Siddhi Vinayak temple in Mumbai city are the biggest draw.
मैं गणेश भगवान का कई सालों से भक्त हूँ। हर मंगल और हर शनिवार को इस मंदिर में आता हूँ और जब भगवान को आंखों में देखता हूँ तो जो मन की इच्छा है वो पूरी करता है। आज का दिन बहुत शुभ दिन है, इसको मिस नहीं कर सकते।
आज उनका जन्मदिन मनाया जाता है। आज उनको गज मस्तक लगा था। आज के दिन है ना, उनको जो पहले सिर काट दिया था शिव ने, उसके बाद गज मस्तक लगाया था। इस क्षेत्र के सबसे बड़े सबसे भव्य गणपति हैं ये और पूरी तरह से इको फ्रेंडली है।
Keeping in mind the idea of an eco-friendly festival, devotees in southern Chennai city installed an idol made of peanuts and chocolate to preserve the aquatic life at the time of immersion. Celebrations come to an end with the immersion of the idols in water bodies, symbolizing the seeing off of the Lord's journey towards his abode, taking all the misfortunes of mankind along with him.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian Prime Minister Modi raises terror issue at G20 Summit, calls for zero tolerance on corruption. Twin blast kill at least 20 in Kabul, dozens injured. And 10-day-long Hindu festival begins in India amid religious fervour. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.